I'm going to tell you a secret. I use two foundation shades nearly every day, and once in a while, depending on my needs, I will use three. Most of us would be much better off using two foundation shades for a couple of reasons. First of all, a lot of people have trouble finding the right shade in makeup. Everyone's skin is so different, and so a lot of women have trouble figuring out what foundation shade to use. On most women, their neck is not the same color as their face, but most of us end up using one foundation shade, which either gives you a mask and doesn't match your neck, or if you try to match your neck and go lighter on your face, they're going to be using a foundation shade that is too light for their face. And not only will that look weird in pictures and in person and make them look pasty, it's going to be aging. It's going to make every line and pore be highlighted and show up more. It doesn't make sense, and it's never going to work perfectly because your face and neck is not one color, but your makeup that you're using is. And also, when you're between seasons, your skin in winter is usually going to be much paler than it is in the summertime. Maybe in the fall, you may be losing some of that color, but you're kind of in between shades. And so it's really, really nice and handy to be able to mix colors where you want to have a little bit of a yellow undertone to kind of hide rosacea. There are millions of reasons, just like there are millions of women who have different needs and who have different skin tones and skin coloring. If you have 2 or 3 shades within your range of what works best for you, then you can have the perfect foundation shade anytime. A great thing about creams is that they melt into your skin like butter and they just blend and they just look like skin. So first, I start with this lighter shade. It has yellow undertones in it, so it hides redness or kind of purple tones that I sometimes get in my skin because as we get older, those cooler, not pretty, kind of unflattering tones kind of bubble to the surface as your skin thins. So I use this lighter color on the bottom half of my face because it matches my neck really well. Your sun damage on your face is often on these areas that the sun kind of hits the high points on your face. So people do get sun damage along their jawline, but it hits in these areas first. And so there's usually not as much to cover anyway. Now, when I get halfway up my face, I go into this darker color because it's going to cover pores and texture better. So most of the problem areas that we want to tackle are on the top half of our face, and a slightly darker color still within our skin tone is going to hide texture better. Also, this color has a little more orange in it. This one had some yellow to cover some redness and purples I get around my chin and mouth. The orange is going to do a better job of covering the darker spots and the sun damage. Also, this one has a little more warmth, gives me a little bit of color. We lose that as we get older, and it's great to be able to add back some of that warmth. Sometimes I will go into this even darker shade that is much more warm and much more orange so that it will color correct spots even better, which is more and more important the older you get. It's not any extra work. It's right here like an artist's paint palette. Grab the color you need quickly, and it makes so much more sense. Using 2 foundation shades is going to solve a lot of your problems.